Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and today we are going to do a quad showcase. We're going to showcase all four of these Bardocks, because when you look at them, they're all kind of each other's best linking partners, so I figure we're going to do two rotations with two of the new Bardocks on each rotation. So what we're going to be looking at here is we've got the 3 sub-EZA Bardocks, which I all think are actually very solid, and then we're going to look at Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, who I also think is very good. What I think is so valuable about this batch is I think 3 out of the 4 units are support units. And then the one that isn't a support unit, Rainbow Orb Changers, so you could argue these are all support units, which are units that are greatly needed on a lot of the teams they are on. So overall, I think this is a great batch of EZAs, and I think they're all really good. So let's start and look at the tech one. So the tech Bardock here raises attack and defense for 1 turn, does supreme damage and seals. I think most of these Bardocks seal actually, which is a really good Super Battle Road skill. So here's the orb changing, right? So it changes STR to tech, attack 130 and defense 180, an additional attack and defense 30 per tech key sphere obtained, plus an additional attack and defense 18% for normal key spheres that are not tech. Medium chance of launching an additional super with 3 or more key spheres, an additional attack 50, and performs a guaranteed crit with 8 or more. So this guy here, you definitely want to go like full additional and dodge on this guy for sure, because he's going to be orb changing, and if you're actually running this guy on rotation, which I kind of think is what he's built for, if you actually get like 8 or more orbs, he puts up really good numbers. We're going to see that, right? But you could just float this guy as a floating orb changer, but he doesn't provide any other support. So I think this guy really is meant to be more of an on-rotation unit, right? Now, by the way, every unit in this showcase is Rainbow and Max Link. So, I mean, these guys are all, like, decked out, right? So that's the tech one. Then we've got the physical one, which I'm pretty sure I would say the physical one is the best of the sub-EZs. I love this guy. He's really, really good. Greatly raises defense for 1 turn, does supreme damage and seals. Defense 318 at the start of turn. Like, that's a big start of turn number, right? Attack 180 while performing a super. So this guy hits way harder when there's support on rotation, because that's a lot that he's getting on super, and that's multiplicative with the support unit because it's happening on super. So it's very strong if you have support with this guy. All allies key to an attack and defense 30%. So he himself is a support unit, which is awesome. Guards all attacks within the same turn after receiving an attack. So basically, as long as the first time this guy gets hit is a normal, he's going to be guarding the rest. So where this guy gets caught is if the first attack he takes is a super, right? But if we can get him guarding, I think he's looking really good. And then he gets an additional 30% defense within the same turn in which guard is activated. So when he gets hit once, not only is he getting guard, but he's getting more defense. So there's going to be a huge difference between when this guy gets supered immediately as opposed to like taking a normal and then getting supered, right? So with this guy here, I mean, I went pretty much, I guess I have a balance, like additional crit, dodge, whatever, but I don't know. With this guy, I could see you like avoiding dodge, because like, well, I want to take the normal first, because it would be bad if you dodged the normal and took the super, but I could also see the argument like, why not just dodge the super? So I think there's a lot of ways you could build this guy. I could see an argument for doing a no crit build on this guy. He's not really meant to be a main damage dealer. He's more of a floating. Like, really, the way to build floating units these days is really additional and dodge, because this guy's getting, what, a 50% defense raise on super. So additionals are pretty important on this guy. If he doubles supers, like, his defense is going crazy, and then he's going to have guard and another 30% after he gets hit. Like, this guy, I think he can have turns where he looks really ridiculous defensively, and then turns where he can get caught and take a lot of damage, right? But this is the type of unit the game needs, which I'll talk about it with within Super Saiyan 3 Bardock as well. But we need more like slot 3 support units that can hang in red zone, and this is a guy that can do that. So he's a very much needed. And look at the millions of teams. These Bardocks are on like 1 million teams, so we can use them everywhere. And what's great about these Bardocks is they don't really have restrictions on like what type of teams they have to be on. They don't require any type of unit on rotation. Like, you literally can toss this guy anywhere. So I really, really like that about him. Let's look at the STR one. The STR one is actually Super Saiyan 2 Bardock, so he's going to link with the other 2 we just looked at. So the STR one is supreme damage, raises attack for 6 turns, and a high chance to stun. So this guy will stack attack for 6 turns. Key plus 3, attack and defense 180. An additional defense plus 50 with each attack performed up to 180. So this is a guy that defensively won't look great early on, but once you get his stacks up, then he looks really good, right? So what does he got to do? 4, yeah, I think he only has to do 4 supers to get fully stacked up, because 4 supers would put him at 200%. It'll cap at 180, but yeah, so we got a super 4 times to get maxed out. He launches an additional, has a medium chance of becoming a super, and he launches another additional, has a high chance of becoming a super if there's a Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3 attacking in the same turn, and then all allies attack plus 30. So this guy is a support. Now, I would have really liked him to have gotten Ki, but even 30% attack, like, that's decent, right? So the thing with this guy is if you get the God turn, he could technically quad super on turn 1 and get fully stacked. Because you've got his normal super, you've got the medium chance that he just gets for free, and then he's got the other one if you have a Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3, and then you have hidden potential. So I did go like pretty heavy additional on this guy. So I have him at 24 additional, because my thought is let's get that defense stack up as quickly as we possibly can. And then this guy, and we'll see how he looks in this video, but if he's, you know, triple the quad supering every turn with a 6-turn attack stack, like, he could actually build up probably a pretty decent amount of attack. So I definitely could see this guy being a main rotation unit as well. You know, if you're running like kind of a full Bardock team. Now, this guy doesn't compete with Dokkan Fest LRs, right? So I think the value in him is you would probably float him anyways. And the nice thing I like about him being a floater, he's not like an infinite, or like his 6-turn stack isn't for defense, so you don't have to worry about like losing stacks while he's floating. You can just get his 6 to get his base defense up, which is nice, right? And yeah, full level 10 links ready to go. And then let's look at Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, who I really like this guy too. Raises, I gotta see. Okay, his leader skill just went full 170. I was like, did they give him a 180 for Super Saiyan 3? But no, just 170. Okay, raises defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage and seals. So yeah, 3 out of the 4 Bardock seal and 1 stun. So a lot of super battle road utility there. Ki plus 3 in attack and defense 100. Another attack and defense 100 while performing a super. Super class allies attack plus 50. That's very valuable. Just a nice support passive there. Once again, would have been nice if he had Ki, but it's alright. Launches an additional super when there's another power beyond Super Saiyan category ally attacking in the same turn. So once again, if there's a Super Saiyan 2 or a Super Saiyan 3 floating around, this guy's just like guaranteed super. Not even a Super Saiyan 2 or 3, just anything above Super Saiyan 1, right? He's just guaranteed additionals, which is very powerful. So I do like that he can really pack a punch while supporting. My build for this guy, I'm thinking full dodge build on this guy, because I think defensively he could struggle a bit, and I'm going to use him as a floater. So I did go pretty heavy dodge, and I have some crit on him. Probably makes more sense to go additional. This is from a very old build. I would actually have to go in and fix him, but I would probably just swap out his crit for additional and dodge and just like go crazy that way. But yeah, full level 10 links, we're good to go. So let's hop in. So turn 1, so we've got the tech Bardock here, right? So Bardock here, he's at 185k defense, which isn't very good, but this is a nuker, right? So we got to grab our tech orbs, and we're hoping for at least 8 orbs. So here we've got 10. 11 there. Okay, let's go for the 11 orbs. Okay, and once again, we have Scouter, so we can see a super attack coming from Tech Bardock, right? So now he's up to 350k defense. So we got a decent chunk of orbs. Now the defense is looking a lot better. He's got another defense raise on super, which is pretty good. So, you know, he's not going to be like a defensive god or anything like that. And I do think the tech one is probably the weakest of the batch, but we'll see how they look as we go through. So let's go ahead and do this. Alright, so let's see what this turn looks like. I intentionally tried to miss the super with Xeno Goku here. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, so dude, 7 mil. Wow, okay. So, I mean, that was a good turn for orbs, but yeah, 7 mil turn 1 for a banner unit EZA. We'll take those. That's a pretty good attack stat for him. So I do think that, like, that tech one, and then we'll see the STR one as he builds up, but I think they did build them strong enough that you could justify putting them on rotation if you really needed it, right? Alright, so our other rotation here, we are going to do Super Saiyan 3 Bardock with the physical one here. Now, here's the thing. My Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, I think the way my rotations are going to work out, he's not really ever going to have a power beyond Super Saiyan on the rotation. So we can just look at every attack stat he does and know that he would be getting guaranteed double supers, and then any hidden potential we get would have been a triple. So we'll just note that, because ideally, it's very easy to get that with him, because the value in this Int Bardock is he's a floating support unit, and then you're running him with really powerful units like, you know, Int God Goku and the Year 7 gods and, you know, Super Saiyan 4s, like whatever, anything that's beyond Super Saiyan. And he's always going to be minimum double supering in slot 3, maybe triple supering, with pretty good attack stats, right? So Int Bardock's at 165k defense. So yeah, his defense is one of the weak things here. That's why I did put a lot of dodge into him. He does get defense on super there, and he is going to get another 100% on super, right? So, you know, on super, you basically can double that stat. Still not the craziest than the other stack there, but, you know, I think his support is just going to be really, really good. And if he gets the additional supers, that's another little extra stack. So, slot 1, probably not the best spot for him right there, but let's put physical Bardock in slot 1. Because physical Bardock here should be, he'll guard and do all that fun guard stuff, right? So, physical Bardock is a unit I think you can get away with in slot 1 sometimes. Now, we are going to eat the super in slot 2. That's fine. We'll see how Super Saiyan 3 Bardock can handle it. Okay, and then non-supported here with the Tech Bardock on the end, but the other two are supporting each other, so that's pretty good, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and get hit there. Yep. Okay, so we got our defense up. So 5.3, considering this guy is 2 key and 30% supporting, and has guard, like, I'll definitely take a 5 mil attack stat for my floaters. And then 8.7, that's pretty good for Super Saiyan 3 Bardock to hit 8.7 mil. Now, keep in mind, that's a guaranteed additional if we have a power beyond Super Saiyan, right? So that's really, really good. And once again, that's a very easy trigger to hit. It's just my particular team build here doesn't allow it, but I wanted to run the Tech Bardock as the leader here. I probably didn't have to. I think there's probably another 200% I could have done, but this is fine. Now we're going to introduce the STR one. Now the STR one is the one that stacks attack for 6 turn and needs 4 supers to build up. So I'm going to try leaving the STR one in slot 1 because I want him to super as much as possible. We'll clear out the physical orbs, grab the tech orbs. So not getting 8 orbs this time. What's the tech one's defense? 265. Decent, but not crazy. Alright, and let's see what the attack numbers. Now, remember, this STR one has a lot of building up to do. So 3.7 without any buildup is actually pretty decent. Unfortunately, our Vegeta was weak there, so we didn't really get a chance to stack a bunch. But we'll definitely be taking this all the way to the end because we're showing off so many units, and we got a little bit of buildup on some of these units, so we really want to see it. Alright, so sure, we can let Int Bardock see how the super will handle in slot 2. That's fine. We'll do this. I'll try to leave like a big chunk of orbs to help with our nuking for the tech one. I mean, I should probably just leave these tech orbs and then hope the orb changing is good. Let's do that. Actually, I should be paying attention because he changes a specific color. 5.3 here. So I should actually remember, I think it's STR. So another 5 mil attack stat for the physical. And once again, I'll take those. And 8.7, like very consistent, right? It was the exact same turn. But dude, near 9 mil attack stats with guaranteed additionals, like that's really good. That's strong. Bardock hitting really hard for a nice support unit, right? Once again, I think his defense leaves a little bit to be desired. Well, I don't think I can turn down this pot of orbs here for the tech one, but I actually can put the STR one in slot 1 still, so let's do that. Because I want to get as many attacks off with him as possible. Tech one's eating good. Here, 13 orbs. And let me double check. So you change STR. Okay, so on the next rotation, we'll always try to leave STR and tech orbs up, and we should get pretty good fields. 367k defense. If he gets to attack here, which I think he will, it's going to be a pretty nice number. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Good there. And what do we got here? Okay, 3.5. So still building up for this guy. This is attack number 2. Okay, there's an additional, but we need more supers out of you. Okay, there's another super. 3.8. Still not the craziest. Once again, 6 turn stacking. Yeah, 7.8. I mean, dude. This tech one, if you're willing to feed him the orbs, he's putting up really good numbers. I'm actually liking this tech one a little bit. I am definitely liking this tech one. I'm honestly happy with all these Bardocks. Like, they're good. They're definitely good. Definitely see this rotation here. The physical and int one I'm getting the most use out of for sure. Now, we are supported here, which is good. We're going to leave physical Bardock in slot 1 and watch him tank. He's at 331k started turn defense. He is going to be guarding the whole way through. He's going to get defense when he gets attacked and guards right away. Hopefully that super is not the first attack, but it actually might be the way it's set up. I think it is the very first attack, unfortunately. All right, and then what's Int Bardock? Yeah, 200k starter turn defense. So, okay. So after supering, he's going to be at 200, or he's going to be at 400k approximately, and get a little bit more. That's not the worst, but you can see why I wanted to go pretty heavy dodge on this guy. I think it is a unit you want to go dodge on, for sure. Okay, so we're going to leave STR and we're going to leave Tech Orbs up as much as possible here to try to set up for next turn, which we did very well there. All right, what's going to happen? Yeah, supered right away. So we are going to be guarding, but we don't have, there's like defense on the table because we're going to get a defense up from this. Okay, so double digits, it's good. And then 6.5. So now that we got support, the Bardock attacks jump up a lot, right? Because they're getting a lot of their attack on super. Like, Int Bardock here should be putting up a crazy number, I'm thinking. It's going to be his best. Yeah, 10 mil, dude. Int Bardock breaking. So here's the thing. If we have Power Beyond Super Saiyan, that's like 20 mil guaranteed. With a possibility for 30 if you get the hidden potential. That's really strong. So yeah, I really like Int Bardock. I think he's very good. And the nice thing is he's going to work in on some of these like crossover teams and things like that. A lot of good Super Saiyan 3 units on crossover. Like, you could build, I would say, a really strong Super Saiyan 3 team now, like with him as the leader. I think that could actually be really, really good. All right, so we did leave the really good Tech Orbs up. We're going to put STR in slot 1. I'm going to prioritize him because he's got the attack stack and I want to see what we can get to him. But now that he's building up, look, 400k start to turn defense for him, not bad. And I'm pretty sure he's not fully built up yet. So we'll definitely go another turn here or two and see what happens. All right, and Bardock Scouter is gone. So 4 mil. So his attack, I mean, it is taking a bit to creep up. That's fine. You can dodge. Give me more than one super, please. Nope. Okay. All right. Well. All right, and then he did take damage there. And then, yeah, dude, this Tech Bardock, I mean, granted, the orbs have worked out really nice, but this dude's hanging around 7 mil every turn, putting up some big numbers. Like, these are, like, once again, the banner units especially, like, you can't compare them to Dokkan Fest LRs, but not everybody has all these units. But, dude, 7 mil damage is competitive enough, I think, to be an on-rotation unit if you need it, right? Like, that's good. You know, they're hitting... these guys are hitting harder than, you know, my 55% Tech Bardock. So, like, running these banner units rainbowed for a lot of players could be better than running, like, 55% Dokkan Fest that they maybe have that aren't quite as fleshed out yet, right? All right, so physical Bardock at 304. And then, once again, Int Bardock is definitely, like, a slot 2 or slot 3 unit. Once again, you just take its defense, you're going to double it, plus get a little bit more on a super attack effect. So once you look at him after attacking, I think he's okay. Like, he's going to be okay for most normals and hard content. But supers, I think he's going to always pretty much get crushed unless he's guarding. So that's why I do think dodge is really good on that Int Bardock, I think. All right, so what are we going to take here? Of course, supering right away before we can get the guard up. Like, that is just so unfortunate. So this is an example of how, like, the physical one definitely can get caught, right? But yeah, now we're guarding. Now we get the defense up. Sure. And then 8.7, yeah. So it does make a big difference if you get, you know, a lot of support on for this guy. Now, maybe 10 mil for, you know, that Int Bardock isn't super realistic because that's literally, that was on a triple supported turn. Like, every unit on rotation was a support unit. That might not always be realistic, so I don't know that you would expect that, but he has that, he has the ability for it, right? We've shown it. He has the ability to put up basically a 30 mil attack stat because he would get his 2 guaranteed supers and then you could hit the hidden potential. So, very impressed with that. Okay, so let's take a look here. Yeah, no, this is where STR Bardock starts actually looking pretty nice. We're nearly at a 500k defense start of turn, right? Which is really good. And I think he gets... so here's the thing. He doesn't get any more on a super attack effect. And I don't think he gets any more on super. So the thing with this guy is he's got the most impressive start of turn defense stat, but he doesn't get any more additional defense when supering. So he's always going to look the nicest, but, like, you know, Int Bardock will get close to that after supering as well. You know, physical Bardock maybe not as high, but he's got the guard. But I do like, I mean, that's a nice number. Like, you look at the screen and see darn near 500k defense stat for STR Bardock. That's nice. So let's see. This is now with his full, like, base build up. Once again, still kind of working on the attack stacking. And we're going to kind of see where he settles in. So this one here, not as good for Tech Bardock, but we'll still get 9 orbs to get his extra buff. No, you only got 18% per orb because they weren't Tech. So he should be looking a little bit weaker here, but we'll see. All right, so 4.6. So yeah, this STR one doesn't, like, hit as hard as the other ones, but a nice defensive stat supporting. There is another additional super up to 5 mil now. Sure, I'll take it. Like, once again, I'm not mad at these numbers from these units. You know, I'm not going to say, like, they're the greatest in the world, but they're definitely not bad. Like, I like them. I definitely think I'm going to see some use out of these units. All right, and we're already up to Evolution Blue Vegeta. Now, we definitely could die here, and if we do, we do. But I want to see these guys tank. Like, show me a Final Flash. Let's see how these guys can take it, right? So, now, if he supers me again immediately in slot 1, that's just going to be such bad RNG. Like, please at least give me a chance to get my guard up first, and then maybe get my additional defense. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Now, this should be a guard, and then we got defense up. Okay, good, good, good. Now we're guarding. So now, I kind of want Physical Bardock to take a Final Flash just to see how well he could tank here. Final Flash, remember, is still a hard-hitting attack. Like, you could compare it to some Red Zone supers. So I would say if he tanks this, it's not, like, insignificant. We'll see if we actually take one. We can't dodge here, so Int Bardock actually could die if he gets a Final Flash. But we'll see. Alright, that was good damage there. Okay. Alright, well, let's see. Super consistent. 8.74, like, every turn. And then on the supported turn, like, 10 mil. Alright, what's going to happen? Alright, well, let's see. We might actually die here. How well does Int Bardock tank? Cannot dodge here. What are we taking? 395. Yeah, he cannot tank. And there he goes. So, anyways, guys, we definitely saw what we needed to out of these Bardocks. I think they're all really good. It's just, yeah, that Int Bardock, man, you got to give him dodge. Because we saw that. And these Red Zone bosses are hitting, you know, a lot harder than that Final Flash. So, give Bardock as much dodge as you can. He's still a really good flowing support. Puts up really nice attack stats. So anyways, let me know what you think of these Bardocks. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all on the next one.